1, 2, in the place to be. I am the real house rocker, original G. On the wheels of steel, the number one chuck, the number one wicker. On God's earth ain't another man quicker. DJ Cheese, we're down with the likes of the KMC. And together we form the crew, word of mouth MCs. And we gonna do a little something.
Vinyl Esquire. You're now listening to the legendary Vinyl Esquire.
As you can see, a very different mix. The winner of the World Mixing Championships from New York,
Vinyl Esquire.
Vinyl Esquire. Culture, truth, music.
The podcast that uplifts the DJ culture, honors our legends. Vinyl Esquire with DJ Rip.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music. Would you join me, please, in welcoming DJ Rip?
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, and my name is DJ Rip, and Vinyl Esquire is the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. And without further ado, I would like to introduce to Vinyl Esquire, the legendary DJ, the legendary producer, the first world-renowned, world champion DJ. I would like to welcome and introduce to Vinyl Esquire, the legendary DJ Cheese.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Cheese, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, bro.
Hey, man, it's been a long time, man, and I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate you checking me out.
Absolutely. How's things? How's the family? How's your health?
Health is good. Family good. Everyone's good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Cheese, look, man, let's go ahead and get right to it. You know, this is Vinyl Esquire, the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's go back to the beginning. So, DJ Cheese, can you tell me who or what made you want to be a DJ?
Oh, man. I'm going to say this name. A lot of DJs probably be like, how is that possible? But when I was coming up before hip-hop, I was listening to Frankie Crocker. And Frankie Crocker is the DJ that made me want to become a DJ. And then when hip-hop came out, you know, you got to say Grandmaster Flash, rest in peace to my man Jam Master Jay. You know, it was quite a few DJs I wanted to be like, even before I became who I was. DJ Scratch, Jazzy Jeff, you know, but, you know, Frankie Crocker was the one that started it all for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Cheese, what was your first DJ name, and who were some of your truly early influences?
My first DJ name was Grandmaster Cheese. They used to call me GMC. That was short for Grandmaster Cheese. And then some of my early influences was, like I said, I would have to say Grandmaster Flash. I think Flash, when it came to hip hop, Flash was the first DJ that I heard really doing the 1-2 thing with the music. And that caught my attention again. It made me get into doing the same thing.
Got you. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Edison, New Jersey. Later on moved to Plainfield, New Jersey. And that's where I got into hip-hop.
So tell me where the title King Cut came from.
I used to rock with a crew down in Asbury Park. Used to be named the True Brothers, and they gave me the name King Cut, and that's how that came about. That was my DJ name. After Grandmaster, I became King Cut DJ Cheese.
Can you give me like a quick rundown of how it kind of got started for Cheese? How did you kind of start breaking into the scene and making a name for yourself?
I got started, hearing the tapes from New York, things like that. And then, like I said, I started emulating things that I would hear Flash do. And then I wanted to be different. So then I started doing turntable tricks and things like that. But as far as coming into hip hop, I had to be playing at my man Garage, who had a girlfriend who was the niece of the late, great Duke Booty. May he rest in peace. She told Duke about me, and Duke set up a meeting for me to come to his house. So I brought my turntables down there, started rocking for him, and that's how I came into the industry. It was Duke Booty who started everything off of me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get back to Duke Booty, and yes, rest in peace. An incredible producer, and obviously most known for producing The Message. And rhyming on the message with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Absolutely.
So salute and rest in peace to Duke Booty. But I want to get back to him. Talk to me about how did you end up cultivating your DJ style? When did you get into the groove and become, going from Grandmaster Cheese to DJ Cheese?
Well, I never looked at it as a transition into that. I just try to set myself different from other DJs. That's when I started putting my turntable side by side back in the late 70s, early 80s. I would say like 1980 is when I started, rocking the turntable side by side. And that's when I started, getting into the tricks, the handcuffs, the sneakers, behind the back and things like that. And that's what I try to set myself different from everyone else.
Right. So what year would you say you started DJing?
For me, it had to be like 78. I still listen to a lot of Parliament Funkadelics. And like I said, Frankie Crocker was hot on the radio at that time, from where I was living at Edison. So it was like more like 78. I mean, it was a little earlier than that, but I don't consider that because I didn't have two turntables. So I used to blend the turntable with the radio music. Is how I started. Listening to the radio, a lot of Parliament Funkadelics and things like that. I started blending the one turntable with the radio. Is how I was DJing. So, but once I got my two turntables, I was like 70, 79, 80 is when I would say.
So was there a breakout moment for you being in Jersey in them early 80s for DJ Cheese? Was there a breakout moment? Now I know in 1984, and I want to get to that next about the New Music Seminar. But prior to that, was there a breakout moment, in those early 80s that got you to the point where you were ready for the big time?
Yeah, absolutely it was. Just rocking a lot of parties throughout New Jersey, doing a lot of battles at the Falcon Casino, battles in Asbury Park, Plainfield, just, traveling all throughout New Jersey, down in Philly, just rocking. And those was my breakout moments. Those was like the real hip hop days for me.
Got you. Okay. So now talk to me about the New Music Seminar in 1984, you winning the DJ battle for world supremacy. Talk to me about, the New Music Seminar and getting in this competition. Talk to me about this in 1984.
In 84, that's like I said, that's when I was with Duke Booty then, and he got me into the seminar. And Wiz Kid at that time was the man. And Wiz Kid was the first, may Wiz rest in peace. He was the first DJ, New York's DJ, who welcomed me in. And at this time, I think Wiz was running the seminar. And
okay.
He gave me some info, what to do and worry about, other people and things like that. He was the first DJ, celebrity DJ to me that I met was Wiz. And he was a good brother to me and told me that, I should be good. And that seminar was like, to me, that's one of my biggest highlights because of the celebrity rappers that I've never seen, like the Fat Boys. There was the judges, LL Cool J, who else? It was a lot of hot rappers at that time, or crews, Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick. It was a lot of rappers that was hot in that era that was the judges from back then. Curtis Blow, they was all in their prime. Those was the judges that I got to rock for. That was my biggest moment, was really rocking for them, just to be able to play in front of them. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this was the New Music Seminar in 1984. That's incredible. Okay. Yeah. So you win the DJ battle for world supremacy, right? So now let's talk about a few years later, 1986, it's the DMC competition, right?
Yep.
So you changed the DMC competition.
Hold on, you skipped over, but I came back again in 1985 at the New Music Seminar.
Okay, all right. So,
okay.
So 1984 and 85, you won that, right?
85, they jerked me for that.
Oh,
and
okay.
Here, like if you go Google 85, it's gonna say I think Africa Islam. That's who I want to hit up against. They gave it to him. And this is why, if you ever heard the interview with me and Marley Marl, Marley said I called him a hater, which to me, I'm gonna stand on that. And Marley, that's my man.
Right.
Me and him, he interviewed me on BLS, and he spoke on it. And the reason I say that is because, again, the same type of celebrity rappers was there, even Curtis Blow, and back then I'm rocking his joint. They, just all the judges threw their cards in the air, like he won. However, I think Marley was on some New York, thing, even though Mr. Magic was hosting, but it was like the guy from Jersey can't win back to back, and basically that's what happened. However, Tony Prince was there from the DMC.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even Curtis Blow came to me, and this is the first time me and him ever even spoke. He was like, bro, you won this hands down, regardless of how the turnout is. However, the person who wins in 85 was supposed to go to Europe in 86 to represent United States. I went to Europe. Africa Islam, whoever, for that year, 85, just went home with the title.
Okay, I got you.
And this is why I say 84 and 85 I won, regardless of what it says on record.
Got you. So Marley Marl was a judge for that battle in 85. That's right?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so 1984, 85, the New Music Seminar. Okay, so now let's talk about in 86. Talk to me about the DMC competition, because again, you changed the DMC competition forever, and the DMC is the Disco Mix Club, right? So,
absolutely.
So talk to me about the DMC competition.
And that year I went to the DMC. The competition was for 2 days because there was so many DJs from around the world. So you had the battle, and people was getting eliminated each day. They eliminated over to the finals, and I won the first day, and then came in on the second day. I won again, and the DMC, to me, that's when it was the DMC. Like now, it's still the DMC. It's just that I don't understand the DJs that's coming in. Even to now, it's like everybody's doing the same format.
Right.
But back then, it was like when I was in it, everybody had their own style. Everybody was different. Each DJ that came in had their own style. I came in as a battle DJ. The DMC was a disco mixing contest. And me, from being from New York and Jersey, from Jersey, I came in there with the mentality that I'm going to a battle. I didn't know nothing about the DMC. I just know I was going to a DJ battle. I didn't know I was supposed to go in there and be blending records. That's not what I do.
Right.
So I came to battle, and that's what I did. And it was a good night for me. It was that just to be rocking in a big stadium, not a stadium, but that small arena the way it was with that many people in there.
Right. It's incredible. So yeah. What competition was it? Because I saw the footage of the two turntables on the side, the big old mixer, and then the handcuffs. Was that the DMC or was that New Music Seminar?
That's the DMC.
Right. So first of all, it looked like you were stretching for a mile, right? Like
yeah. I asked them, can they take it out the coffin? They was like, no, we can't take that out the coffin.
Right.
But then somebody behind me had to go next. So it was only one set up there. It wasn't no two sets back then. It was just one set.
Right.
So they say you can move it how you want it, but you can't take it outside the coffin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely incredible, because again, prior to you, the DMC wasn't a DJ battle in the terms of, turntablism or tricks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And you changed that. So here we go. You got 1984, 85 New Music Seminar, and then now the DMC competition. So now at this point, you're a world DJ champion and one of the first, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, so Cheese, now talk to me about the group Word of Mouth. How did Word of Mouth come together?
Word of Mouth came together, as I said, Duke's niece, who introduced me to him, he basically gave a talent show in Elizabeth. Well, I wasn't, I was already with him, but I wasn't around when he did the talent show, but he heard about the two guys, Ali G and KMC. and we all had a meeting at his house, and he's like, I think y'all be a good collab. And so we performed at his house. I was already in with him before they came about. I met them through Duke. Before that, I have never met them before, and he put all three of us together, which was dope. Was dope to me, you know what I mean? Because I always thought they was dope. Always thought they was a little ahead of their time, and that's how we came. That's how we came about as far as word of mouth.
And where'd the name come from? Word of mouth.
Now that I don't know who came up with that. I want to say Duke came up with the name Word of Mouth, but because they only, as a group, they were just KMC and LEG. You know, they went to school together. They was from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I was from Plainfield, New Jersey at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, talk to me a little bit more about Duke Booty and Beauty and the Beat Records. Talk to me a little bit about how this came, because you were on Beauty and the Beat before you got the deal with Profile, correct?
Yeah, the Profile deal was kind of crazy how that even came about. We was the first group off of Beauty and the Beat because Duke wanted to start his own label, and Beauty and the Beat was the label he started, and we was the first ones out the gate. Is how that came about. And how we got the Profile was, once the record hit the radio, the samples that I used as far as cutting Run-Dmc, the stuff I was using, he is the master, you know what I mean, best DJ.
Right.
Profile got wind of it. At first they wanted to sue us. From my understanding, they listened to the record some more, and then they said, nah, let's sign them to a deal. And that's how we went from Beauty and the Beat to Profile Records. Wow.
Okay, so talk to me about the King Cut record and the Coast to Coast record, because now, both of these are classics.
Yeah.
You were on Beauty and the Beat, which was Duke Booty's label, and then you got the deal through Profile. Talk to me about the creation of King Cut and Coast to Coast. Talk to me about, how these records came about.
King Cut, as we did it, we did that down in Duke Booty's basement. We practiced down there. He came out with the beat. When he came out with the beat, it was another beat he had before that, and the beat before that was I want to say triple Z3MCs. We had that beat first, and for whatever reason, Duke switched it, and I wanted to keep the Z3MCs beat for whatever reason, but he ended up switching that and gave us King Cut. And after I listened to it more and more, I was cool with it, because at first I wasn't cool with it, because that's the record I was practicing on at first. But I'm glad the Z3MCs did get the record, because they was definitely dope on it. So we practiced the record. We kept practicing down at his house. I did all the scratching and everything at his house. It wasn't no sample back then. We wasn't sampling. Everything was live.
Right.
So from the sing scene I was cutting to the Curtis Blow, sing zoom, that was all fresh all the way through. All the samples that I did, or all the samples the music that you hear, was all done by hand. Wasn't no looping, no nothing.
Right, I got you.
Everything was done by hand. Same thing with the rhymes. If they had to say it over, they had to say it over. You couldn't, even the King Cut loop hook was all said fresh. It wasn't no just loop that and slice it, and everything was done right then and there.
Gotcha.
So wasn't no looping, no sampling back then.
So what did Duke Booty use to produce King Cut and Coast to Coast? What machine was it?
King Cut, the beats was done by Keith LeBlanc. I don't know if you know about Keith LeBlanc. He's a white guy who he's a drummer. He's a big name. You gotta look him up. Keith LeBlanc.
Right.
I also did lip service with him. I did like couple records with Keith LeBlanc.
Very nice.
He's definitely a dope hip hop and rock and roll drummer. Like, he was dope with that DMX, and he done the beat for Coast to Coast and King Cut. I believe he did Z3MCs as well. If you listen to both records, they same sound, same
right, absolutely
pattern, So yeah, you got to get Keith his props. Keith was also, I believe, signed to the Sugar Hill label as well as Duke was.
Right.
So I think that's how they was all a band together.
Wow. Do you have any idea what Duke Booty used to produce The Message?
I came in after The Message, which even when I met Duke at first, I didn't know that he was the rapper producer of The Message.
Right.
Until he told me himself. So it blew my mind when I was at his house. So he had the plaque on his wall. He had like 3 plaques on his wall at the time from Sugar Hill.
Right.
And right then he told me that he was the rapper, and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So he started rapping that shit. So I'm listening to him. I'm like, oh shit.
Sounds good. That's you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's his voice.
Wow.
So he's like, yeah, I wrote that. He said, I wrote it, I produced it, and I rapped it. Then he started telling me about New York. He said, I wrote that, I produced it, and I rapped it. And then he wrote Survival. So he produced it. Duke was definitely was a talented man and ahead of his time back then.
Absolutely.
Because he played so many different instruments, and even that Flash is on the beatbox. That's Duke machine. Like that's a machine that he made, that he put together, took it and put it on type of like a synthesizer, and he let me hold it for like a week or 2. I had it at my house playing with that shit. I'm like, oh shit, that's the same thing that Flash used on Fusion Beats.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The opposite, on the back where he's playing the beatbox. I wanna. Yeah, that's a machine that Duke made and put it on some type of synthesizer, and it had that same beat on it. Like that ain't come from a drum machine. That was some little bullshit machine. I think you can see it on the cover of on King Cut, that little cover. That machine is in front of me. That's when he had let me hold it for a few days.
Wow, right. So that's incredible. Salute to Duke Booty, and because he doesn't get his respect, accolades at all, because those are all hit records that you're talking about from Sugar Hill and all the other classics like Z3MCs and King Cut and Coast to Coast, and I'm sure there's dozens of others. So yeah, salute to Duke Booty. So back to you though, like. Let's talk about this. Like you did scratching on the Z3MC's Triple Threat record, Rap-O-Matic, Point Blank MCs, and K-Rob. Talk to me about some of those other.
Hold on. One more you forgot.
Okay, who am I missing?
Macedon Committee, their second single.
Yes.
Remember?
It was not Funk Box, no?
Nah, just the other single, Get Off My Tip.
Right, with Pebbly Pool, yes.
Yeah, I did. That's me on that. I did the scratches on that.
So talk to me about those records. How because that record came out on Profile, obviously, and so I see the connection. Talk to me about the Z3MCs, because the Z3MCs again had that dope record, and they were from Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. So talk to me about some of that. Some of them other records that you were a part of that you did scratches on.
That came about. We was on like a tour, and we was performing in Baltimore at the time at the arena in Baltimore, downtown Baltimore, and we did a talent show the night before the show that we was judging at this spot called Shake and Bake or something like that. It was a skating rink in Baltimore.
Okay.
And actually Z3MCs lost. They lost the competition, the talent show. Somebody else won, and the winner was supposed to get the record deal, and they allowed me to be the final judge of that, because for whatever reason it was favoritism in the competition, and I don't do the favoritism thing.
Right.
And I told Duke that the Z3MCs was the more hotter performance for that night, and I want to do a record with them, and that's how we ended up doing the Z3MCs. That's how they ended up on Beauty and the Beat. Same thing that happened with me in New York. I might have lost, but I was the more better DJ, and that's how I felt about Z3MCs, that they was more of a better performer and rappers that night of that show, because basically what you hear on the record as far as Triple Threat, Boys was nice with the beatbox. So they was rapping on records, but then when they broke it down, oh boy was so nice with the beatbox thing, and he was different. I was like, yo, they dope. And that's how we end up that's how they end up getting the deal and signing to Beauty and the Beat.
Wow. So what about the Point Blank MCs and some of these other groups?
Yeah, they also was from Elizabeth, and a guy named Ahmed, he was the manager of them. He put them together and brought them to Duke. They was more like a more younger kids that was coming up, that was making a name for themselves, and Ahmed brought them to Duke, and that's how they came about. And everything that was coming out of Beauty and the Beat and Profile, I was always getting calls to sign, you know what I mean, as far as doing the scratching and things like that and helping out with the projects.
Right. So was there ever a word of mouth full-length album?
We didn't get a chance to do a full-length album after we did Coast to Coast while we was on tour in Europe. And actually we recorded that over in Europe. So before we can get to talk about the album, there was some disagreements within the group and the label, and that's what ended that whole thing. We felt like we wasn't being treated right as far as financially. Like, you know, we doing all these shows, but at the end of the night, and you know, we don't know nothing about the record sales and show money that we was doing. You know, back then, you know, rappers wasn't getting that kind of money as far as, you know, doing shows and things like that. I think we was getting like amongst the group maybe $2,500 to $3,000, something like that, just to be on stage for a few minutes. But, you know, we just felt like we on tour at the time for 2-3 months at a time. And then come back, you know, we split that money up, and it's like, what's this?
Right. There ain't no money. Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So then, you know, I think what it is, we was young, so whoever was paying for the rooms, the tour bus, and things like that, we got taxed for it, which we kind of knew that we shouldn't have been taxed for, because whoever's booking these shows, they cover that stuff. So at the end of the day, we sitting down, he got the calculator out, tour bus money, blah, 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 spending money was this much, this is snap, all right, this is what you get, this is what he gets, and this is what he gets. Which, you know, we wasn't, like, it just didn't add up.
Right.
And we just decided to walk away.
So when you say you walked away, did the group break up? I mean, what happened?
The group broke up, you know, and which, you know, they went their way, I went my way. Like I said, we was put together. So.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had opportunities to rock for other people that, you know, back then, today, I kind of regret, but I come from hip hop. So if you down, you down. You know what I mean? I felt like, you know, down by law really meant down by law to me. So when Biz came to me, wanted, you know, asked me about being a DJ for him, I turned him down because I'm with word of mouth. Then after Biz, Big Daddy Kane, I turned him down because I'm with word of mouth, you know. And before them, even before Biz and them, I had the opportunity to DJ for Latifah. Met Latifah. This was after we walked away from the group. I met Latifah, and at the time, Shaquem was like, you know, she got a record coming out, which the Rap of My Madness was out already. And I met him at Club Sensation, and Mark was being the DJ. I just happened to be there that night, and I ran into him. And he was like, you know, she got the record out right now. Mark is doing a lot of stuff. He can't tour with her. He was like, what you want to do? I was so caught up in the streets at that time, because I started, you know, I turned to the streets to get money. And I think I was more caught up in the money that I was making in the streets than I did with the industry. I just said, fuck it. Like, I told him, all right, I took the number, and I never called, and went down to the basement to go practice one of them. I just never called, and, you know, I regret that to this day.
Wow. Well, I was going to ask you, you know, as far as DJing and production, and, you know, who else did you work with, you know, that we hadn't talked about, you know what I mean, in the industry?
In the industry, I've worked with a lot of people, like even on the Sun City album. I don't know if you know about Sun City.
Yeah,
record,
absolutely.
I worked on that. Apartheid against South Africa. There was a lot of people on that record, from Bruce Springsteen to a lot of people. Arthur Baker was in the studio because he was the director of the project. I came there the same night. Jam Master Jay, may he rest in peace. We both was on that, and we both got a chance to do our thing on the record. And I even had a chance to do a Run-Dmc project. For whatever reason, I got called, but I was coming from Europe. And
Right.
They met me at the airport, and they wanted me to go from the airport to the studio, and I was like, yo, I don't have my music that I would like to use to work with them. They said, if you don't go now, it's a done deal. What we all on Profile, I was like, well, it's a done deal because, I need at least a day's rest. I just came off the airport, 11-hour flight. I said, I guess it has to be a done deal. I love Run-Dmc to death, but I ain't, I'm not going to be able to perform my best right now.
Right.
And that's some reason. So I ended up turning that down. But plus I was already frustrated from the decision we was making from as far as walking away from Beauty and the Beat and I wouldn't say Profile, but we was walking away from Beauty and the Beat. But in order to talk with Profile, we had no connections with nobody within that office. We had everything we did. We had to go through Do Booty. So
right, I got you. So is it a rumor? But was there a project where you and Jam Master Jay did some DJ work or some scratching on a record, and Jay's didn't make it, or yours did or didn't make it?
That's Sun City.
Okay. So what happened with that?
When I brought it up, I thought about that, but there's no disrespect to Jay at all.
Right, absolutely.
I love Jam Master Jay. I hung out with him outside of work. Just on a regular day. I've been to the man's house the whole nine. I'm not going to big myself up because they didn't use Jay's scratches on the record. Yeah, but yeah, we did the record together. But they didn't use what he put down and instead use mine.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Salute to Jam Master Jay, legendary, no question about it. Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of Jay and Run-Dmc, you toured with Run-Dmc and appeared on the UK Fresh 86 concerts, right? Talk to me about that experience. How was that?
What's crazy is about that, even Dr. Dre was on that. But at that time, he was known as back then he was known as Dr. Dre. Even on there, he was with the World Class Wrecking Crew. Right. So they was on that tour as well. So that was on. He played on my set. He asked me, can he use my setup? Back then, I didn't know who Dre was. I knew the song, but I didn't know. Dre wasn't the man that he is today. Back then. Right. Absolutely. So I let him use my turntables and anything for their performance back then. But that tour was for we played that arena for 2 days straight and took off from there.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. So from that point, right? What did you do as a DJ or producer? What did you do over the years? In the industry, outside of the industry, from that point on, because again, you changed the DJ competition world. And you're a legendary DJ, and you impacted culture as a DJ, and you made classic records. What did you do over the years from that point?
Again, like I said, when we walked away from the industry, I got caught up in the streets. I was deep, heavy, to the point where I even got shot 5 times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got shot 5 times. Went to prison 3 times. That 3rd time, just in the feds, is what made me realize, like, I wasted a lot of time and I wasted a lot of opportunities. Even this time that I was released for the last time, a brother came to me and said, yo, this was like 10 years ago. And he was like, I'm working with this artist named J. Cole, and he's about to sign with Rockefeller with Jay-Z. Not Rockefeller at the time. He said he get ready to sign with Jay-Z, and he gonna need a DJ. Me coming home from the feds, I didn't know nothing about J. Cole. And that was another opportunity that I missed. Because at the time, J. Cole didn't have a DJ, and
right.
And he wanted to bring me in and gave my information. He gave me his information, told me to call him. I said, well, I was telling him I just came home. I don't have one of nothing or two of anything. And I just forgot all about that conversation with me and him. And that was, like I said, that's another major opportunity that I had that I could have been a part of. You know, I mean, I regret the decisions I made when it came to hip hop. You know what I mean? And I don't regret the loyalty, but I could have still been rocking instead of the turns that I made and going to prison and things like that.
Wow. But once you got back, you got right back into it, right? With the DJing, doing events, sponsors,
Absolutely.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like you paused your life and unpaused it when you came back out, right? It got right back to it.
Yeah. So, you know, I came back to the point where, as I said, I'm gonna put 100% in doing right by this music, getting back into it. You know what I mean? I've asked people for help that I normally wouldn't even ask. So, you know, and I done had people make false promises to me as well. I'm talking big name people, big name DJs.
Right.
And, yeah, that didn't come through for me. That, you know, and I chased them down like 2 and 3 months at a time. You know, I waited outside of radio stations 3-4 times at a time. Like, oh, I ain't forget you. You know what I mean? Then I see them years later. You know, it's like they want to say something, but they don't. You know.
Absolutely. So, Cheese.
Yeah.
You changed the DMC DJ competitions and just the whole way that a DJ competition is forever, right? You created. You helped create and helped build the DJ culture as we know it is today. So with everything that you contributed to the, you know, to turntablism and to the DJ culture, it's unparalleled. It's amazing. So with that being said, what do you think of today's technology and today's DJ? You know, the culture, the DJ competition, everything. How do you feel about where things are at for the DJ in 2021?
The technology is good, but to me, me personally, I can't see myself standing behind a little controller in a laptop like that. It just looks crazy to me from where I come from. You know what I mean? I like the little Pioneer turntables, the CDJ joints, but I'm talking about the one that has the vinyl on top. That looks, if I was to do that, anything, it would be that. But as far as the little small controllers and what guys is doing, it takes away from the era that I'm from. And I mean, I've seen people like Mel Star. I think I might even seen Jazzy Jeff one time on a controller or the Pioneer CDJs, and you know, they got busy on it. But for me, to me, it's like it's against my religion. I can't do it.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. So what projects are you currently working on? What's new in DJ Cheese's world musically?
all right. Musically, I'm to be honest, I'm right now I got some things that's in the makings. But far as music wise, I haven't been doing anything because of the COVID. So, you know, the few events that did come my way, I turned down because I just didn't trust, you know, the safety of me performing somewhere and got a lot of people in there. I don't want to be one of the people that, like when COVID first hit and a couple people was having house parties and nobody's in there with masks on. I didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
In a big event. So, you know, I just stuck to working. But actually, last night I was on the phone with a guy who was on Atlanta Housewives. And he was the guy that was dealing with the girl Sheree, who's no longer on Atlanta Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
However, he went away. I don't want to say his name, but he went away to the feds. And make a long story short, they given him a TV show called Loving the Feds. And I spoke with him yesterday, and he's bringing me in on the TV show, Loving the Feds.
Wow. Is this is this the gentleman that used to do the conferences back in the day? You ain't got to say his name, but not Jack.
His name is his first name is Tyrone.
Okay, I got you. No problem. No question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's incredible. All right, that's dope.
Yeah. So it's gonna be some music stuff that's involved, and basically I'm the go-to guy as far as as far as the music, planning mixtapes. It's gonna be a mixtape series and whole nine. but it's a TV show that's in the making as we speak called Love and the Feds.
Interesting. Okay, great. Well, good luck with that. So, Cheese, you being a competitive DJ, you were a competition DJ. Was there any DJ that you just wanted to battle and you didn't get a chance to?
I wouldn't say I wanted to battle, but I came up against Jazzy Jeff, and at this time with the New Music Seminar thing, I had just came off tour just before we walked away from Beauty and the Beat, and the young lady I was dealing with at the time was pregnant by me, and she was giving birth. Well, she wasn't giving birth. The baby was born prematurely, and I was at the hospital when the baby passed. Duke, yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Duke is calling me to come to New York for the battle thing. Mentally, I wasn't there. Like,
right.
I read an interview of Jazzy Jeff saying that he reached out to shake my hand and I just blew him off, and that wasn't the case, you know. And to this day, you're the first guy that I'm saying this to, because I've been wanting to see Jazzy face to face. Like, I don't want no phone conversation. I want to see him face to face, because this is before him and the Fresh Prince blew up. And I remember shaking Will's hand. Like, I was so zoned out off of what happened, devastated on what happened to me that day at the hospital, that mentally I wasn't even there. Like, I don't even remember. I just remember just breaking my stuff down and walking off the stage. I don't even remember even trying to play at all.
Wow, okay.
And no one never knew why I did that. And that was the reason why I did that, as far as just walking off. And when I came up to Jazzy, I think Jazzy was the first person that I was going to go up against. And mentally, I was just zoned out, and I wasn't even in the building that day, because that was my firstborn, and it died on me. So, you know, I was just devastated. I don't even know why I even showed up, period.
Right,
But,
right.
Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't play.
Wow.
But like I said, I just don't want, you know what I mean? Like I said, I love Jazzy Jeff, you know what I mean? And for me to meet him, or for him to even walk up to me, like, if I would have got to meet him that day or whatever, well, not that day, but on any given time, I probably would have spoke. Even though that we on a video together, we was at some club in Europe. I don't know if you ever seen the video of Jazzy Jeff, the Fresh Prince, me, and Word of Mouth. We all dancing in the club.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, incredible.
So even back then, like, I was mad young. So as far as approaching people who, like, you know, even seeing them there, I was excited just to see him there, you know. And we didn't speak. Like, not that I remember. I don't even remember speaking to him then. But he was in Europe at the DMC when I won that. Yeah.
Wow. And you haven't seen him since then?
I haven't seen him since then.
Wow. Well, what if I run across him, if you don't mind, I'll mention that you'd like to talk with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I you know, just to read that interview, you know, it kind of tripped me out, you know, and I always wanted to just, you know, talk to him and apologize, because never would I didn't take nothing personal. You know, I wasn't even mentally, I was just devastated on just losing my firstborn. You know what I mean? I seen the baby, you know what I mean? Right. And they shouldn't even showed it to me. Shouldn't even show me that, you know, this baby didn't make it. Like, you actually showing me the body of the baby, and that messed me up. So if I did walk past him that day and he stuck his hand out for me to shake it, you know, I don't even remember that at all. But I just read the article on that, and I know where I was mentally that day. But I remember Will coming up to me and shaking my hand, and other than that, but Will stopped me though as I was leaving, because I was leaving the building. Right. I was on my way out the building. The competition was still going on. I just wanted to leave, and I was on my way out the door, and I ran into Will. Will I remember, but I don't remember Jazzy coming up to me or whatever, or even us passing by each other.
Right. Wow. Well, my condolences, and wow. I mean, yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it clearly you were going through something mentally, rightfully so, and you know, I can see why, you know, that played out like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, incredible. So you know, so on another note, but still related to the DJ and the competition, is how did you approach those competitions? You know, did you practice your routines? Because the reason why I'm asking you is that, you know, I've never seen any DJs put the turntables next to each other and the handcuffs and all of that. Now, I know a lot of DJs like Scratch and Clark Kent, you know, I've seen do some incredible things. So how did you, at that early time frame, how did you approach your battles and your routines? How did you put them together?
Well, you gotta kind of remember back then, DJs was like, you know, normally when they battled, it was on some crew battles. There wasn't really many DJ battles back then, and for me to battle, I was always practicing tricks. Like day and night, I would miss school just staying home practicing. So it wasn't no same regular routine I would do at any DJ battles that I came across. It's just that I would say I was a little bit more ahead of most people when it came to battles, because I always had some type of tricks that I was doing. Like one time I got into, even to this day, I'm gonna say his name, Cutmaster DC.
Okay.
To this day, it's like, you know what I mean? And I love Cutmaster DC. Always played his records the whole nine. And we was in Toronto. From Toronto, we flew to Canada. We was on a small plane going to Canada. And we was going to go battle each other. So we on the same plane. And we was on like a little 6-seater or whatever. So, you know, we get there, and you know, I guess he had some tricks that he was planning on doing, but it was that once we got to that night, he wanted to control the battle, and he was like, "You go first." I said, "I don't have no problem with going first, but we're not gonna. There's no rules to battling." That's what I'm telling him. So I said, "If I go, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm not gonna stop. So don't tell me about we gonna do record for record. No, you don't make the rules. A battle is a battle."
Right.
So he said, "Well, all right, we'll go first then." So, you know, I went first. I did my thing. Make a long story short, he tried to fight me on stage. Like, his brother had to literally, like, almost put him down on the ground to hold him back. Like, bro, it's a battle. Like, you like 6 foot, and I'm like 4'2" at the time. Like, I was a short guy, man.
Wow. So wait. He tried to fight you after you did your set?
After I did my set. So what happened was, he started to do his set. I don't know, maybe he had bad needles or whatever, and he was trying to rock with a pool stick and a ping pong paddle, and then he had the basketball. And everything he tried, it was just messing up for him. Nothing that night went right for him. So, you know, I rocked on his record. You know, I said a little rhyme on his record, and I took his record and I slung it out to the crowd, and the shit went up like a frisbee and went and stuck up in the ceiling. And I took the other record, dragged the needle across it, and I broke it on stage. So I guess, you know, all that, I guess that was like totally disrespect to him.
Right.
For me just to break his record like that. And, you know, even like I said, even to this day, it's like I sent him a friend request, you know, as far as being friends. I ran into him at the DMC one day in New York. We shook hands for a hot second, took a picture together. But I have a picture in my thing. If you look at it, he's leaning to one side as if he's trying to lean away from me. So, you know, I mean, even on Facebook, he unfriended me, you know, and I still think he feels some type of way, and you know what I mean, and which I don't understand, you know.
Wow.
It is, you know, that shit years ago. Like, you still holding on to feelings. Like, it's not like I done did 100 interviews and talked about Cutmaster DC. I never talked about him in an interview and explained what went on that day, you know.
Wow. That's amazing. And thank you for the story. Cutmaster DC, another legendary DJ, right?
Absolutely.
Very interesting. So, Cheese, what do you believe is one of the most memorable and moments in your career that you just hold, deep to your heart, and it's like this is what changed my life. Not necessarily the record deal, you know what I mean, or even not necessarily the first time you won.
That's easy.
Okay,
That's
go
easy.
go ahead.
I'm performing at the Ritz Theater in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I wasn't even with Word of Mouth at the time. I wasn't even signed with Duke at the time.
Okay.
The record store who was promoting the show, it was Run-Dmc, I think Houdini. I can't remember all the acts that was on there that night, but Run-Dmc was the headliner. And I'm on stage and I'm rocking, I'm doing the tricks, all that stuff. The building going crazy. And I happened to glance and I seen Run-Dmc standing on the side. This is when I found out Run used to be a DJ. I never knew Run was a DJ.
Right.
Until later on.
Yeah, DJ Run.
Yeah, he was the son of Curtis Blow.
Right, absolutely.
So he told me all that night. So I'm DJing, I'm ripping. And after I came off stage, they were standing right there. So like I said, I was a young boy back then. I was still in high school. And I got them, they was like excited to meet me. And their manager was like, yo, they never come out their room, regardless of how loud the building is. So for them to come out the room to see and stand on stage watching me rock, that was a memorable moment for me. And then to hear my name on the record, on the Here We Go thing, on the Here We Go record, that's how that came about for me. And just to even hear that was like, that was my biggest moment for me, and memorable moment was rocking at the Ritz Theater in Elizabeth in front of Run-Dmc. That's one of my most memorable moments, and that's how the picture came about with me in the picture with Run-Dmc, David DMX, and Jam Master Jay.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Is there and I think I do remember seeing footage of that particular Run-Dmc show at the Ritz, them performing. I believe so. Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Was there any artist that you never got an opportunity, DJ or rapper, whoever, that you never got an opportunity to work with that you wanted to?
No, I to be honest, I never even never thought about it like that. But other than Run-Dmc, because I used to, like I said, rest in peace, Jam Master Jay. I used to love their routine, and I used to practice that routine. Everything that Jay did at home.
Right.
Before I even made records, I used to vision myself doing that same routine for them and doing my own style. You know what I mean? Just seeing that was everything for me. The way they wore their clothes, how they wore their clothes, their whole style was like, that was amazing for me. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So look, Cheese, you've influenced so many DJs. You've influenced the DJ competition world, right? Mm-hmm. And you are one of the first. You are the first world DJ champion, right? So what is in the future for DJ Cheese?
Hopefully that this TV show take off, man, and just being able to, once this COVID thing let up, get back to, rocking, festivals, or just trying to get back to the next level, get back to that same level I was at. Like I said, I'm not bitter about the people who could have brought me in, but they didn't. I'm good, I'm living good right now. I'm in good health. I'm in good spirit, and I'm seeing these same people on their way down, on my way up. It's not like, if I was to extend a hand, I gotta let you know. I gotta let you know how you treated me on my way when I was here.
Right. Understood. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm one who never cared about the money part when it came to hip hop. Like, all he wanted to do was just rock stadiums, do shows. It was never about money at the end of the night. I never looked for the check. I never looked for none of that. If I got paid, I got paid. I enjoyed myself. That's my biggest thing about hip hop was, I put people on who would have never got on had they not known me. MC Crash from Rosedale, New Jersey. I don't know if you remember Crash. Sure.
He He was on Beauty and the Beat, Rap-O-Matic. You know what I mean? These people I knew. So even there's a documentary about Can't Forget New Jersey. And there's a guy that's sitting next to me who was a dope rapper back then, even to today, you know, and he never made it. But any chance that I can bring somebody in and let them get some shine on camera or on stage, that's what I did, you know. And right now, this guy, he's nowhere around, you know. But it is what it is. You know, when it came to bringing people in, I never hesitated. If you was nice like that, I brought you in, you know. But everybody don't have the same heart in this industry, you know.
Right.
Like, I can never come into Hot 97 and take over Flex Spot. Your name is big. Like, I can't move you out the way, regardless of how nice I am. You know what I mean? I've had rappers. I done had a few run-ins with a couple of well-known DJs that, to this day, that still don't speak to me. You know, and I'm good with that. But I know, they know I know what happened, but it doesn't look bad on me. It looked bad for you. You know?
Okay.
Because I've never been that type of DJ to come into somewhere and just shit on somebody. But you well-known DJs, and I never knew that it was like this until I came home this time and somebody filed me a contract telling me what I can play and I can't play because this well-known DJ that's well-known to me now is on the bill. Like, this DJ life is a shitty life right now.
Wow.
Like, in order for this person to seem like he rocked the spot, I have to play a certain way. And I told him I'm not doing that.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I completely understand. What's your weapons of choice right now? What are you using? You know, still on the 1200s? You know what I mean? What do you...
Yeah, still same technique turntables. I still lug my shit around.
Absolutely.
I still lug them around. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you still got some vinyl there, you know, maybe a few.
Yeah, I still got a lot of vinyl. I lost a lot, but I got a lot.
Right.
I don't have what I used to have, but I got a lot.
Well, a lot of it is classic, man. I remember seeing the pictures of you with the DMX, you know what I mean? And you know, all of that. I mean, again, it's all classic, man. And Cheese, you know, I just want to thank you, man, for allowing me to interview you, you know, because again, what you've done, like I said before, what you've done for the DJ culture, the competition world, turntablism, you know, the inspiration and the classics with hip hop. You know, I mean, you know, what you've done for the culture overall is incredible.
I appreciate it, bro. I mean, that's not something that I was intentionally trying to do. I just wanted to stand out and be different. But, you know, it took me around the world.
Absolutely.
It took me around.
Absolutely. So how can our listeners continue to follow DJ Cheese?
Catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and just, you know, you'll see what's going on with me from there. You know, if you trying to look me up, inbox me on any of them. I answer all my social media. So, but if you're sending me music, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't listen to nobody music that comes in my inbox.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I get a lot of people sending me their music, check this out. If you just can't pop in my inbox and just say, check this out, and I don't know you, and I don't even think you even know exactly who I am. So I don't listen to nobody music that send me their music. They just throw something in my inbox. I'm going to click on it. That can be a virus, so I definitely ain't clicking on it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So social media is the best form of contact for you, yeah?
Yeah, that's the best form of contact. Come in my inbox, and if it sounds good, then I give you my number and my contact information.
Absolutely. So, Cheese, in words, if you can, how would you describe your DJ style?
Even my style, I never looked at it as a certain style. You know, it's like the people. I let the people do that same thing. Like, you'll never really see me write my name as the legendary. You know what I mean? If this is what the people call me, then I'll start doing that. But I see a lot of people, you know, calling themselves legends. That, what have you done? I see it a lot on Instagram, legendary so-and-so, and then I go look them up and I don't see nothing. But, you know what I'm saying, as far as my style goes, I never really looked at it, but I would call myself more as a party rocker than a turntablist now because I no longer practice turntablist. I know I incorporated it a little bit as far as on party rocking. You know, I do a little something, but as far as like as right now, I just call myself like a crowd rocker, a party rocker.
Got you. Well, I'll call you legendary because you are, okay? So you know, that's what it is. Again, what you've done for the DJ culture and hip hop, you know, it's incredible. You are legendary. So with that being said, DJ Cheese, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you. And this is Vinyl Esquire, the DJ podcast that uplifts the DJ culture and honors our legends. And my name is DJ Rip, and we have had the honor to talk with the legendary DJ producer, the legendary King Cut himself, the world-renowned, world champion DJ Cheese.
Peace.
Hello world, I want to welcome you to Vinyl Esquire, the podcast that delivers culture, truth, music.
Oh, hi fans, it's great to be back on your televisions again. Bring a touch of class to these shambles here. I was going to do a little cutting and scratching and stuff like that, but frankly I don't want to embarrass anybody, so I'm going to leave it to these blokes here who are actually really good at it. The best.
Here we go. Listen up. Give me some more volume. Listen up. Listen up. Right about today, in the place to stay, we are Word of Mouth. I am the KMC, and I'm MC Original G. We're down with DJ Cheese, and we're going coast to coast. Somebody on the turntable. Put your hands up in the air, y'all. Put your hands up in the air. Now here we go. Some volume on the turntable.
That was National DJ of the Year, John Peel, taking lessons from the world's greatest scratcher, DJ Cheese. John Peel has queued up for 2 autographs in his entire life. One was Lightning Hopkins back in Dallas, several summers ago, and the only other one was DJ Cheese. That's quite enough introductions from me. Back to the dance floor, DJ Cheese, word of mouth, and course to course.
And we came to amaze, put you in a daze, and we won't quit till we get paid. We do our job, and that's turn it out. It's like a hot water heater, we heat the house. We don't hesitate to stimulate anybody in the place because we're great. We'll make you cheer, so have no fear, and everything we say will stick to the ear. We never hold back when we rock a rap. In any beat that we hear, we will attack, cause we're too hot to touch, too much to clutch. We're too squirming to squeeze, you know we aiming to please. And over mic, we're down with DJ Cheese. Whoa. Give me some rhyme on the turntable. Now this is what I want everybody in the house to do. Get with me, y'all. Somebody say hey. Say ho. Hey, ho. Hey, ho. Woo. Coast to coast, we your MC host, and everybody knows we rock the most. Coast to coast, from the Pacific to Atlantic, she rocks the whole board. The girlies get frantic. Yes, we have titles from town to town, and every place that we play, we always go down. Oh, we keep you going till your body gets sore, and by the time we're through, you yell for more. Go rock in the house, it's a KMC, and while the beat is rocking, I must be to keep you grooving, have your body moving. Things that I say to what it will be, through while the blood flows all through my veins. The pump must start up to my brain, so I can demonstrate on the MIC what really makes me the one to be, just the kind of MC who can give the most, guaranteed to hit me rocking from coast to coast. Cause anytime I do a job, you gotta do it correct to make sure the KMC you never forget. I'm speaking and singing and sure to please, most definitely from sea to sea. And I have qualities I will enforce to rock this place till I get hoarse. With G by my side and she's in the back, we're going coast to coast, and it's like that. Somebody put your hands up in there like this, y'all. Come on, come on.
DJ Cheese, I certainly wish that I was down there.